All right, so here we are in day 2 of classes at home, and so for today we're going to get started with creating our very own songs at this point. So now we're going to start really working towards the actual assignment that's going to be due on Thursday. So like I said, nothing is going to be due until then. This is just the building blocks for it. But today we're going to be starting with a steady beat. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to Chrome Music Lab and go back into the song maker. And for today, we're just going to focus on these spots here. So these little beat making spots. And you can kind of, change it to whatever instrument you want to. But what we're gonna focus on is trying to make a steady beat. So as human beings and as people, our brains, what they want is they want something simple and predictable. They want something that we can sort of count on for a beat, so that it sort of stays in our head and remains catchy that way. So the basic way to do that is you just set sort of a repeating bass line, kind of like this. Nope, not like that. Where you do one circle every 2 beats, kind of like that. And that's how you're going to get your sort of steady momentum kind of deal. So just like that. So if you listen to a lot of disco music, you'll recognize that. If not, whatever. And then you have this top little area. Now, if you're thinking about it in terms of like actual drum sets or something like that, this is kind of like your kick drum or your bass drum or something like this, and then this is more like your cymbals. So for the sake of creating this steady beat, what you'll want to do is create a triangle on top of every second circle that you made. So you should have twice as many circles as you do triangles, and it'll sound something like this. So that probably sounds a little bit familiar. Yeah, so that would be sort of your basic beat. Now, that being said, in order to create a basic and steady beat, you don't need to do something exactly like this, otherwise everything would be extremely boring. So if we were to restart it, basically what you want to do is you want to create something, like I said, simple and predictable. So aim to create something that repeats, every 2 beats or every 4 beats or something like that, so that it doesn't get too complicated. So let's aim to have something like this. And then what you can do is you can fill in the blanks up here. And it kind of creates a different kind of beat. So listen to that. And I could even slow it down a little bit too. The point is, like I said, simple and predictable. You want to try and create something that the brain kind of goes, oh yeah, I can follow that. If it gets a little bit too random and kind of all over the place, this is what usually happens. So I mean, it might sound cool, but, it's not exactly catchy or anything like that. So I'll give you one more example. The patterns can be a little bit more complex than what we've been doing so far. So far, it's just been kind of like, once every beat, the thing repeats, where we had the consistent beat like this, or, once every 2 beats, where we had it like this, where it's like have 1 and then leave 2 spaces. So that was a 2-beat thing. Here's what happens if you have something that goes over 4 beats. So let's say that I want to try and make something a little bit more complicated. Let's say leave 2 spaces, leave another 2 spaces, and then leave 1, and then here's the new bar. So we start here, and then leave 2 spaces, and then leave another 2 spaces, and then you have 1, and then here's the new bar. Let's just finish that off. Where am I looking here? Oh, there it is. And yeah, let's see what this sounds like. This might sound better if I speed it up. Let's do this. Maybe even more. And that starts to sound a little bit more familiar. Now, you can do sort of a similar thing too that you did before with the triangles, where you kind of put one over top of every, downbeat, so to speak, of every second bar. If you're looking at where the triangles are going right now, I'm putting them on beat 2 and then on beat 4. So right after these little lines, every second bar, or every second beat. Let's see. Point is, like I said, it's just got to follow a pattern. It's got to be something that the brain can kind of latch onto, so that you can create some familiarity. Let's take a listen to what this sounds like. Not bad. Okay, so your job for today is just to create a steady beat of your own. You can do something based on one of the ones that I created here. I've left them as examples in the document, but yeah, you can check those out, or you can make something entirely on your own. Point is, I just want you to play around with trying to create something steady, like I said, simple and predictable that repeats. And that'll be all for today. You don't have to send me anything, although if you do want to send me something, you can feel free to send me a link using the save thing, and you can send it to me over one of the assignment things. I won't take that as your assignment, but I will listen to it and offer you some feedback if you want. And then when you're done today, when you've created something that you like, make sure that you save it, and then you put it somewhere that you're not going to forget it. So sometimes what I like to do is I will just create like a Google Doc or something like that, and I'll just keep it open so that way I don't lose everything that I created. Okay, that'll be all for today. So if you have any more questions, let me know over the Showbie chat, and I will post more instructions tomorrow. Good luck.